Hello, it's the Friday Talkie. There's been a bit of a party going on in London by the sound of it. I don't know what that's all about. Maybe someone found some jelly and cakes in the skip behind Marks and Spencer's or something. But who cares about that? In important news, I was on the All Gen Gamers, hey, I managed to pronounce it right that time, All Gen Gamers podcast this week, Wednesday night, Thursday morning-ish, and that was absolutely great. So great big thanks to John, Johnny, Jason and Pete for letting me on there. What can I tell you about that? Because I mentioned it a couple of days ago in a games video, and I said I would say more about it here. What can I say about that? First of all, first and foremost, I had a really great time. It was really good fun. They were just such good company, very welcoming and friendly, and that was great. It was a learning process for me as well, very much a learning experience, because it's very different from what I do here, and it kind of caught me out, I have to be honest, and I think I totally overanalyzed the thing. It's like, doing this, I've already thought about what I'm going to say, now not word for word, but I know what I'm going to talk about, and I've kind of got a rough idea what I'm doing. Doing a gaming video, I never plan ahead what I'm going to say. I don't know what I'm going to say, but there it doesn't matter. I'm not responding to anyone, and I can just come out with absolute rubbish and it doesn't matter. Doing live chat is kind of different as well, because there are all of these people there that I'm talking to, but I can pick and choose what I respond to, what I answer, and there is like I have thinking time, if you know what I mean. I can read it, I can take in what's being said and then decide, am I even going to respond to that? So there is time to think. Doing a podcast is very, very different, and it sort of surprised me. It's harder. It's great fun, but it really is harder, because you've got to use your brain to listen to what they're saying and comprehend what they're saying, and then there isn't really time to think about what you're going to say in response, so you've got to do it all on the fly. And like I've said before, I'm a deep thinker, but I'm not an especially quick thinker. So I sit and I listen. I've played it back and listened, and I'm sort of thinking, God, you're talking too much, stop talking, and stuff like that. I mean, the response to it has been absolutely great. Certainly my subscribers who have listened to it said, yeah, that was great. And no one who I've looked at comment on Pete Law's forum, there's been no one saying, who's this pillock? So that's great. I mean, I've been really quite nervous about it, but the response has been good. And there is a steady flow of new subscribers who I'm pretty sure are coming in from there. Probably about 30 new people overnight. So hello and welcome to all of you. Thank you for coming here. Hope I don't disappoint. This is what I do. I sit and go blah blah blah. Don't expect too much of it to make sense, especially when I'm doing games. Yeah, so it was a learning experience, and very enjoyable one. I mean, I sit and I'm totally critical of my own performance on everything I do. I am my own worst critic, though I totally defend my position on anything I say, mostly. But I sit and listen to it, and I'm critical of what I said and what I did, but I think overall, yeah, it was good. Did I do myself absolute justice? No, probably not. Did I do the subject justice? No, probably not. Was it fun? Was it a positive experience? Absolutely. I would do it again in a heartbeat. And I'm just so grateful to them for having me on there. Absolutely awesome. In other news, is it news? Yes, it is news. So I have in my head all the things I'm going to talk about, but it gets kind of untidy in there, and I'm like rummaging under piles of junk to find the piece of paper in my head where I've written what I'm going to talk about. Sony PSN. Yeah, alright, everyone's talked about it already. I know. My thoughts on it? The most interesting thing I have seen said by anyone on the subject was by Dodger of PressHeartToContinue, and her observation was, and this is about the potential theft of credit card details, if this had been done by a gang of criminals who wanted all the credit card details to use to steal, they would have done it quietly, they would have done it discreetly. Sony probably wouldn't have noticed it was happening. But they didn't. They went big style, all out. It was big. And that is the mark of someone who is making a point. They're saying, Sony, you screwed your user base. We're screwing you back. Don't take us for granted, because we can have you. And that's what this is all about. This is Dodger theory. And I hope she's right. They don't want the money. They're making a point. I hope she's right. It sounds very, very plausible. I've heard, it was on another YouTube channel, and I can't remember. Lots of Games, that's who it was. I just stumbled across their channel today. I don't know where they got the information from, how accurate it is. I'm taking their word for it. Sony have announced that there should be no problem with debit and credit card information, because though the data was stolen, it was encrypted. If this is true, that's good news. So yeah, I mean, something that I'm actually thinking about this, I don't think this loss of data is new. I'll tell you the story. About a year ago, I got a phone call from my bank asking me, did you authorize these 2 microtransactions? It's that, you know, 1 pence withdrawn, 1 pence deposited thing, which you then have to confirm. And it's to confirm your card with some company before you can do business with them. And this had happened on my account, and it was coming from somewhere in America, and obviously they're aware of my spending practices, and I generally don't do business in America. So they phoned me and said, is this you? I said no. They said, okay, someone has access to your bank details, you need to cancel this, we'll send you a new card. I said fine. Only then did I stop and think, after I'd given them all the details, holy shit, wait a minute, they phoned me. How do I know that's my real bank? I phoned my bank and said, is this you? Did you do this? And thankfully they said, yeah, that was us. And I was very relieved, because I had been really stupid. Someone phones you and says they're your bank. Don't believe them. Phone your bank and then see what they want. Anyway, so there had been access to my account, and I had no idea where this had come from, and neither did my bank. But then there was a big hoo-ha on a forum that Andrea goes on. A lot of people saying, PlayStation Network, not safe. Credit card details on your PS3, get them off now. It's not safe. They're being hacked. There were lots of cases of people with PlayStation PS3s who were losing money out of the blue. Sony was saying, it's not us, it's nothing to do with us, security's fine. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know what proof there was, but this is what was being said. I took my details off right there and then, because having had money suspiciously, you know, dodgy access to my account, I thought, So I wonder, because there was the story recently that Sony had known something was going on, and then all of a sudden it ramped up. So it's like they've known there's been a problem for ages, but only when it got big did they do something about it. Yeah, anyway, that's that. All of it's speculation, really. The other thing, Nintendo. I can't remember the name of the guy. Some guy at Nintendo has been saying they are disappointed a bit with sales of the Wii and the 3DS. And, well, certainly with the 3DS it makes me laugh. They're saying people don't understand how cool it is. They don't know how to use it properly. Kind of partly blaming the end user, saying, look, you're thick, use it properly, you don't understand how great it is. But they're also saying, actually, no, maybe it's partly their own fault as well, and they should have hired a proper marketing company. People aren't buying enough of their product because they don't know how great it is, and a marketing company would put that across better. Bollocks. I'll tell you why people aren't buying your products. Because you're not making any good games for us proper gamers. Lots and lots and lots of stuff for your grannies and for your kids and for your people who just want a casual novelty toy thing, briefly. They buy the hardware, they buy a few games, they get bored, it goes on the shelf. They're not gamers. They're not going to keep buying games. It's just a brief amusement. You want your stuff to sell, make games for gamers. the Wii 2, or whatever they're going to call it. So it's got this funky high definition screen, touch sensitive blah blah in the controller. It's going to be high definition. Don't give a crap. Give us some good games. That's that. They're going to keep doing the same thing. They're going to have massive sales briefly, and then the whole thing is just going to go collapse because no one's buying the software, because you're not making games that we want to play. Proper gamers, not casual gamers, real gamers who keep buying games and spend money on the platform. If you don't cater for them, ultimately it's going to be, it's boom and bust. It's not sustainable. I won't buy it. Got a Wii, think it's rubbish. Got a DS Lite, nice hardware. Got about 5 games for it. I've had it for what, 3 years? 5 games. That's pathetic. And it's not because I don't like it, it's because they're the only games on it that I like. There is nothing else. I don't want to do your brain training. I don't want to do your little RPGs. I don't want to do your Pokemon rubbish. I want a proper game that works. And what, Mario Kart, great. Thingy, what's it called? What's it something Galaxies? Can't bloody remember. There are about 5 games on it, and the rest of it, pfft, I'm not a 3-year-old. I'm not going to play all that rubbish. Yeah, so that's my thinking on that. Give us some proper games, they will sell. Don't blame your marketing department. Don't blame the end user. It's your own fault. Okay, rant over there. Cool, blimey, did I get into that one or what? I don't hate Nintendo. I know there are those who think I do. I love the Virtual Boy, and I love the GBA. And they made, and the SNES is good, the N64 is good. They put some good games on them, but they've lost the plot. They're just aiming at kids and grannies and people who think their brains are defective. Yeah. I'll shut up now. Let's move on to well, it's sort of a shout out. Okay, this is the channel of Quimby RBG, if I'm pronouncing that right. RBG Entertainment. He sent me a message last night actually asking would I like tell people about this game he's made. So this is his channel. I'm showing the channel because I haven't played the game yet. I've just watched the videos, so I'll shout out his channel and run a bit of the video. It just looks really great. I'm going to put a link to the channel and to the video, so you can basically check it out yourself. But yes, he asked, you know, would I promote it for him, or you know, just tell people about it because it's free. He gave me a link, which I will put down there in the info thingy below the video. It's linked to a free download of this game. Let's skip forward a bit so you can see the game. I'll have to do a bit of editing here because YouTube is being lame. Come on, play the thing. We want to see the game. Here we go. Yeah, he describes it as being like Frogger-esque in play mechanic. Yeah. And I suppose it is in the you're avoiding obstacles that are moving horizontally, and it's kind of like Frogger meets a hard drive defragging program. And it is cool. I mean, it's simple, it's easy to understand, it certainly looks like fun. As I said, I haven't played it yet, but just looking at it I thought that looks really cool. Yeah, absolutely, I'd be very happy to bring this to people's attention. So yeah, it is Quimby RBG of RBG Entertainment, and I will put the link to the free download in the info bar. Check it out, it looks really cool. I am going to, when I get a minute, download this myself. I may do a video myself, but I think his video will probably explain it far better than anything I could do, because really you know what I'm like when I play a game. Yeah, there you go. Okay, what can I tell you now in closing comments? I don't know. I do keep being asked when am I doing another live chat. Simple answer is I don't know. I just can't fit them in at the moment, so don't know. Probably not for a while. Just I've got too much going on, I'm afraid. Other stuff happening? Not a lot going on really. It's just going to be more of the same gaming videos. Still concentrating on the Archimedes. I had been planning to do a ZX81 system review. I still will, but I think maybe I will do one of the Archimedes first, given that that's the system I'm doing games for at the moment. And it does seem to be generating a fair bit of interest, which is cool. Yeah, you'll have noticed last week there wasn't a lot of activity going on here because I'd gone away for a few days to Scarborough. Those of you who are not aware, who are remotely interested in Scarborough and what it's like, I put up a nice hour-long video on my other channel, Benway's World. You might want to have a look at that, you might not. There's just me walking around for an hour with a camera, and it's very jogging around and stuff. It's bouncy, and I'm just talking stuff, and you might be interested, you might not. It's certainly not professional quality by any means, but then nothing I ever do is. Okay, thank you for watching.